Ha ha ha! Welcome back to another market closing live stream. We got a lot to talk about today. We got apps, Corsair, Chipotle, Enphase, Lyft, and Trivago, XPO Logistics, Crown Holdings. Oh my gosh, we got a lot. We've even got Yum in China. We've got a lot of earnings today. It's crazy. You know, I was looking at some of the implied volatilities for these earnings. Holy smokes, the market is just expecting this crazy swing. The problem is sometimes when the market expects a crazy swing, you don't end up getting it, and then these stocks don't end up doing anything. I don't know, kind of crazy. We'll see what happens. Joe Biden did finally mention Tesla. I feel like this is the first time in his career that he's thrown Tesla a bone just by acknowledging that Tesla even remotely exists, which is quite wild. There is talk that earnings beats are slowing down in this sort of pandemic recovery, post-pandemic recovery. We generally have EPS beats over estimates of 2.5%, but now we beat by about 6%, which is the lowest S&P 500 beat so far, with 276 firms having reported. We're at the lowest earnings beat yet in the pandemic, which kind of makes sense. It's kind of just like the end of these insanely large earnings growth or earnings beats. Another thing that was quite interesting was we had a Treasury auction today, and a lot of demand with the 10-year sitting at about 2%. So there's talk that maybe as soon as the 10 years at 2%, you're going to get a lot of people coming in to basically dip buy the treasuries, thinking that yields won't go far above 2%. Right now, the 10-year is sitting at 1.956. So it's knocking on the door of that 2%. Okay, so we talked about peak earnings, talked about... This morning we talked about gold, talked about China, and we talked about which earnings we've got coming up today, and that 2% yield. Okay, good. Now, and Tesla being acknowledged. Right. Okay, now let's hop on over to see what's going on in Stickland. It actually looks like we might like elevate into the close today rather than fall into the close today. I don't know if that'll hold. But at least that's what I saw the last 10 minutes was it looked like we were starting to rise a little bit. Yep, nope, never mind. Getting rejected at the line again. Never mind. Same old, same old. Well, we'll see what happens. Who knows? It could still turn more green here into the close. Yeah, okay. So just the typical kind of volatility towards the end of the day. We'll see what happens. I'm personally, I'm expecting with like a 60% chance of being right, 60, 70, something like that. I think we'll have some kind of rotation to the downside. I don't know if we're going to end up falling any more than what we saw earlier, though, even just about an hour ago. So I don't know how substantially of a rotation down into the close we'll get. You know, for us to really go back to where we opened or at some of the low points of the day, I have to have quite a bit of a little swing there on the 1-minute candles, and we'll see what happens. Piton. Look at this, that volume declining heavily, but that price holding. That could be signaling a potential breakout to come. Chegg, after yesterday's crushing earnings, killing it. Harley Davidson this morning. Look at this. Look at all this volume coming in to buy Harley. And then just a total relaxation here towards the end of the day. GameStop. So we're getting some risk assets moving again, right? GameStop, AMC, typically deemed to be your risk assets. Hey, look, they're my 2,100 shares. People keep asking me, Kevin, do you still have your AMC shares? I'm like, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I'm not leaving my YouTube channel, and I'm not breaking my promise. I may have had to change directions on the rest of my portfolio because Jay Powell rug pulled us, but I'd be stupid not to, in my opinion. No, I'm not calling anybody else who's not selling stupid. I'm just saying, like, if I see an expected value change, then you know, it's not a good idea to leave your head stuck in the sand. Oh, I don't think we ever did a thumbnail for this one, by the way. Hold on, let's do a quick. Oh, actually, I don't think I prepped this live stream at all. We were just having too much fun talking in the course member live chat. And oh wait, we got to get the mug in it. There we go. Oh man, I got to get the water spots off that mug. Oh, well. So, oh, man. Velodyne right down to $4 again. I knew I should have shorted it. We were talking about that this morning, but I tried to short Peloton and it wouldn't let me. It said no shares available to borrow. So I don't know that I could have actually gotten them on here. Interactive brokers. I've got some money over there and I can usually short over there, which is kind of cool. So we'll see what happens there. Oh yeah, members mode. You're right. I'll do that too. Okay. So what else? T-Dog, 7-ish% trying to come up towards the end of the day here. Verifying Lightroom Classic. Get out of town. Why are you trying to verify Lightning? Get out of here. We don't need to verify Lightroom. That's all right. Give me 1 second here. Let's get this fixed. Oh yeah, a few things here that are old. My bad. Okay, this was weird. I was just putting in the little coupon code that's V-Day into the description. There we go. I just updated it. But rather than writing V-Day, I accidentally wrote Vlad. Man, that guy lives rent-free in our minds. That was such a rough day. Birthday, too. Oh, well. All right. So, let's see what we got here. We have 18 minutes to go to the close. Let's see what Bloomberg tells us. Biden breaks his silence on Tesla. Yeah, finally. Still controls future supermajority of shares at Peloton. Yeah. Larry Fink meets big oil. No, it's not much has really changed this morning, which is okay. The big change, in my opinion, is going to be, well, of course, the Bitfinex cryptocurrency recovery. I think they recovered like $3.6 billion or something like this from a 2016 hack, which is really kind of incredible. Think about it. In my opinion, another reiterating use case for cryptocurrency, specifically blockchain tech. Love blockchain tech. Ooh, Robinhood rising a little bit into the close. So, oh, there we go. SPY trying to pop above the line here a little bit. So not getting that end of the day sell-off. That's okay. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, no. It's trying to start a couple times here, but nope. You've got, now the ones that are going to, and Matterport's up about 6%. So the ones that are going to report today, let's take a peek at those. We have apps reporting today. Ooh, nice little run here into the close. So you've got apps, you've got Corsair. Ooh, look at this little run right leading into your earnings run here. So a lot of enthusiasm coming in. Maybe they leaked some info. Earnings are usually pretty dang closely guarded, but you never know. Never know. Did you cover Hyundai and the Kia battery recall? No, I haven't seen that. Do we really have any clue how Enphase is affected by the shortages? Oh gosh, yeah, no, I would never bet on well, I mean, I can't say never because I have in the past, but I hate betting on earnings. The only thing I would bet on in earnings is that it's either going to go up a lot or down a lot. I would make that bet. Which you can do. Straddles. We were just talking about those in the course member live, and we threw some in. So T-Doc kind of rising a bit into the close. GM 2%. No, right, relatively quiet day. GM was down like 5% this morning after that Morgan Stanley downgrade. Tesla, it's over here. Hey, Tesla's at 1.69. Still got those shares, by the way. You can see that right here. $899.89. Just pennies under 900. Oh, Amazon just moved about 2% as well. Yeah, Amazon's kind of been pushing into the close as well. Some bullishness here. We'll see if earnings ends up messing any of this up. Probably not. I mean, we don't really have massive companies reporting, but some of these do affect the consumer. Corsair, Chipotle, Enphase, Lyft. These are going to be some tells for the consumer. So I'm excited to see what happens with those. All right, let me go see what the suits are saying. All right. Everybody's so happy Biden mentioned Tesla. Yeah, Baba was killing it this morning. Let me see what it's doing now. BA. Baba, where are you? It's pretty much the same spot it was at this morning, honestly, with like 5.5%. It's like it hasn't moved, but it's held, which is nice. That's nice. All right. Is the Fed cooking without gas? Ignoring energy is a big risk. Rising gasoline futures are leading core CPI as energy costs are passed along to producers and consumers. The pattern suggests inflation is poised to surge once again, if not in January, due for release on Thursday, then in the months to come. Ooh. Removing the cost of food and energy from the Fed's metric for inflation has always been somewhat open to debate. Soaring energy costs of late have made that an even more important part of the conversation, and the Fed can no longer afford to ignore it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to see inflation, just go outside. I mean, like the gas stations are just like ripping people off right now. And I know it's like the cost of the inputs are going up. So, but my gosh, that excuse doesn't work for a lot of industries. A lot of industries, it's just the companies are just raising their prices. It's quite wild. Elon replied on Twitter. No way. Oh, I want to see. Hold on. Now we got to look. Oh man, Elon, what are you up to? Oh yeah, some of you also really liked my crypto white paper on Twitter. You could check that out by going to Twitter. All right, where's his reply? Oh, just smiley face with sunglasses. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, everyone's kind of happy about that. It doesn't really mean anything. I think it's just finally some acknowledgement for Elon. Anyway, Matterport is up 6.3% right now going into the close. And Corsair is had a little bit of a pop there going into the close. We'll see what happens. Harley Davidson. Okay. All right. T-Doc. How about ARC? How's ARC been doing? Hood, Facebook. I mean, every single day they hit a lower level. Seriously? Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Facebook again. I mean, today hit a low of 216. I mean, it's at about 220 right now, but it just keeps trending down. So does PayPal, honestly. PayPal, again, another low. It's so weird. PayPal, and I ate it on that one, but I sold puts on PayPal when it had already fallen a lot. It was like, yeah. It was down from 310 down to like 240 right here, somewhere right around this first support line. And it's just like, yep, nope, don't care. Yeah, the sold puts hurt on that one, but that's okay. You can't win every option. Sometimes you take the L. That's okay. That's normal. If you're trading, you win some, you lose some. And at the end, hopefully you end up with more chips than you started with. And then and then when you're ready to leave the casino, they take all your chips anyway, whether you're up or down. Anyway, ARC almost flat on the day. Now I thought it was running a little bit this morning. Let's see. I think no, it didn't really go anywhere today. It must have been yesterday. So it ran to like $75 at some point here. Yeah, I think yesterday. Yeah, yesterday had a green day. That's what it was. I'm also surprised, by the way, that Google is as flat as it is. Had some lower points today, but still flat on Google. Okay, SPY struggling again. Can't really move off this 450 line. I've kind of been betting that it would fall under this 450 line, and it did. Right here, it fell. I just thought it would fall a little bit more than that. Classic. Oh well. So let's see, because we always get rejected off that line. All right, yeah, we'll look at BTC too. Let's go ahead and get up FTX. If you haven't checked out their mobile app yet or their websites, check them out. Go to metkevin.com/FTX. All right, let's grab that. Goog's a great company, by the way. Yeah, I don't think anybody can really go wrong with the Goog, but that ain't financial advice either. Oh, yeah. Look at that move here on the 1-minute chart. A nice rally here. This is very nice because look at this. We were really bleeding down from some of the highs that we had here. And we bled down to about 42.7. And we were getting these lower low patterns as well. And it looks like as soon as we broke right around here, 43.3, 43.4, we really took off nicely again on BTC. So very nice. Let me go ahead and average this out a little. Let's smooth it out and go to like 15 minutes here. There we go. Very nice. Okay, so I'll leave it on 1 minute. We'll come back to this. That's a good way to close the day. And Tesla about 1.25%. QQQ about 1%. Stable. 8 minutes to go. SPY. Where's the institutional selling? Piton reported this morning. Inflation to the moon. That's the only thing going to the moon right now. That's sad. It's not good. Ugh. Trust me, I'd prefer to just be all in the market like usual. Not have to worry about inflation. Not have to worry about Jerome Powell. It's exhausting. That's all I can say. All right. 8 minutes to go for apps, Corsair, Chipotle, Enphase, and Lyft. Can't wait to get rugged tomorrow. Yeah. I think you mean Thursday morning. That's when the real rug pull would come. Hey, but the CPI data could just come in right at expectations and markets might do nothing. That's what happened last time. We were expecting a 7% print. And we got it. We literally got a perfect 7% hit. Yeah, the other camera is dead. I even have another angle. Let me see. What happens if I do... Oh, yeah, see? But I never use this one. I don't like the lighting as much in this one. Anyway. All right. So, now what? Let's go troll the web. Troll the interweb. Wall Street Journal. Let's go troll. SoftBank plans IPO for ARM deal. That'll be interesting. Really? You're going to IPO into this market? SoftBank usually makes pretty good moves. So that'll be really interesting. When are you going to buy DWAC? All right. Let's see here. Yeah, this was cool. We talked about the seizing. COVID relief funds drive up nurse pay. Oh. Well, I imagine at this point, it's quite worth them getting paid more. It's been such a tough 2 years for the healthcare industry. See, it's a boring day when it's which houseplants are best in bathrooms. That's on Wall Street Journal's front page. I like the journal. All right. Oh. Yeah. Let's try the Financial Times then. This is a quiet close here. Yeah, big news here on this 3.6 billion. Macron says Putin promises not to escalate Ukraine crisis. That's not saying much. It's like, oh, as long as they don't attack us first, we will not escalate. And then, before you know, what? Someone from Ukraine attacked Russia and it was all a false flag? What? Now Russia's invading? Sorry, jaded. Well, I told you, we would not attack unless they attacked first. They attack first. It's terrible. Hopefully nothing happens. We don't need more drama right now. Yes, some vodka. All right. What is this? Unhedged. The message from rising real rates. All right. Exactly. We will not attack. All right. What do we got here? Good morning. No one wrote in to tell us that Monday's selection is wildly speculative. Short bets were pure insanity. Let's see. Okay. Just trying to see if this is anything interesting. No, it's more about negative yielding debt. Market measures of inflation expectation have fallen. Oh, these are the break evens. Yeah, well, I've seen this flattening. I usually look at the 5. This is the one I usually look at. See, this one doesn't actually show so much of a falling. The 30-year does. I never look at the 30-year. That's actually interesting. See that little chillaxing over here? But yeah, this is what we were talking about this morning in the stream, that this is your break-even chart, and it's the 30, 10, and 5 year Treasury break-evens. And they can be used as sort of a proxy for determining how worried markets are about inflation. And you know, my concern is you can't say that high inflation is priced in while break evens are flat or slightly falling, because it's kind of the market telling you we're not pricing in inflation. And so this is why every time I see these comments or people making videos, no, it's all priced in. It's all priced in. Where? Please show me where it's priced in, because it ain't. How far from inversion? I don't know if they have that in this particular article, but I can always grab it really quick. Let's see. It'd be convenient if they did. Nope. All right, I'll go get it really quick. 10-2. Oh, we're pumping at the close? Oh yeah, we are. Ooh, the SPY's pumping a little bit. No institutional sell-off today. Okay, no problem. That could be entertaining for options going into the close in 3 minutes. So 10-2. 10-year, 2-year spread. Line chart. Yeah, Corsair reports today. Yeah, pretty stable. Stable. We're at the flattest point of the yield curve. So I'll put it up on screen really quick. So shout out to Bloomberg for L charting. But right here, you can see the, oh, there you go. Been relatively stable here in February. And this is why you have not seen more of a market sell-off in February, that we've been kind of flat, because the yield curve's flat. You know, when we got this, that was big pain right here. When we got this, that was big pain in the market. Now we're flat. We get another one of those, that would be where the fear steps in, and maybe we get the inversion of the yield curve and all the insanity. So anyway, Oh no, pricing on options is very skewy right now. There's no doubt about that. It's just because the movements are so extreme. So extreme. All right, so yeah, let me look at the sold put on Square. We got about a minute to go. Let's see here. Option. If I wanted to sell a put, let's go off of this. Let's see. If I sold a put at the money, almost at the money. Wow, you're getting $12 for April. That's crazy. That's like 2 months, and you're getting 12%. Yeah, it's just the market's price. The market's hedging so much. The market's pricing in risk and fear. All right. 25 seconds to the close. 10-year is not above the 2-year now. No, I don't know if it's going to be able to hold it above that line. I don't think it's going to hold the line. Yeah, it did have a little bit of a push into the close here, though. No, nothing, no dramatic kind of moves here. Relaxed. Let's get the bell and let's get to earnings. Okay, there it is. Dow is actually a nice green day. Honestly, it's green across the board. It's 106 on the Dow, 0.84 on the S&P, NASDAQ 1.28, not bad. Russell 163, not bad at all. That's a good day leading into the madness that we're expecting coming up. Oops. All right. Let's go get some news. So how are we gonna do this? apps. There we go. All right. So apps, Corsair, Chipotle. Those are some of our big ones. I'm going to get these ready right now. All right. I got apps up. Now we've got CMG. Let's listen in to Sarah here for a moment.
Sometimes lately would cause a sort of panic or selling, at least in technology. But you saw tech rally, a lot of the cyclical groups, a lot of the reopening plays all did well today. What does that tell you?
Yeah, I think it's really positive to see how well the markets are recovering so quickly here. And I think realistically, it's just showing that all the volatility we've had over the last month or so is nothing more than a run-of-the-mill correction that we tend to see once every 12 months.
Okay.
But I do think we'll probably continue to see some of your longer duration assets like your tech firms reprice as interest rates do continue to rise. So we're really making sure that our investors are looking at good opportunities as we look forward this year. And
yeah, how are you calling this a run-of-the-mill correction? Okay, whatever.
Where it's not just goods that we're buying, it's now going to be things like leisure, hospitality, travel. It's that services sector that I think we're really wanting to look at here. I think airlines, for example, can be a really good way of playing that. So just looking for some of those opportunities here as things are shifting means take advantage of those deals as they're still happening.
Joe, usually when we're talking about the 10-year yield,
you pump that book, girl.
Context when it comes to the tech trade, and yet today we did see that surge into the close. I'm wondering what you make of some of these individual moves, because we still have weakness, particularly in Facebook. And as for Alphabet, we're pretty much back to the pre-earnings levels. So it's basically erased that big giant pop that it had.
True.
Yeah, and I feel better seeing the price action today, because today wasn't so much about the mega caps. There was a strong tone to Apple and to Microsoft. But overall, Melissa, it seems as though the welcome mat is out in some unique places within the capital market structure that it wasn't previous.
The welcome mat is out 2 days before the CPI report? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Previously had been the weakest link of the major indexes. They're performing strong. I read a positive note today from Goldman Sachs on Europe. Wow. When was the last time you read a positive note on investing in Europe? So the welcome mat is out in other places, and I like that. Maybe 2022 doesn't have to be all about the mega caps.
Ooh, no. That'll be interesting for the indices. Okay, we are now waiting for XPO Logistics, Lyft, Enphase, Corsair, Chipotle, and Digital Turbine. I got them all up.
Economy, which, you know, there were concerns in the last few weeks that the Fed was going to take us into recession by hiking interest rates at a time where fiscal stimulus is wearing off. Is this a signal?
90 seconds.
About that story?
Yeah, I think it's the market is reading it as a very compressed slowdown. First quarter GDP, if you look at the tracking models, doesn't look good, but nobody thinks that really matters. It's kind of a little bit of a give back to a very strong nominal growth last quarter. And at least the parts of the economy that, you know, can operate.
Apps is falling right now. I don't actually see earnings yet, but it is falling right now, about 6% in the after hours.
Supply constraint, that applies to a lot of stuff in the business to business world in terms of industrials and things like that. Yes, if they're working just fine. I don't think we're talking about off to the races for earnings, because there could be a little bit of slippage between how the economy does and how corporate earnings does, because there has been just a massive, build up toward record profit margins to this point. So, yeah, I think the market right now is pretty happy with rates going up when the economy seems like it can still have some good traction.
Well, for now. All right, come on. Earnings should be out in the next 30 seconds here.
That can actually be effective in fighting inflation with higher rates. That seems to be the all clear at this point, at least when you take a look at what moved today in the face of a 10-year Treasury yield at 1.96.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. I think seeing all this positivity just means a lot of this has probably already been priced in. The markets have really digested this news.
Right.
And
that's literally what I was saying a few minutes ago. This stuff is not priced in, but that's okay. All right. I mean, look at the break-even chart and tell me it's priced in. Okay, Lyft. Lyft comes out with less active riders than expected, but more revenue. Revenue at 969.9 versus 940 estimated, despite having only 18.7 million riders versus the estimate of 20 mil. That implies inflation. We've got adjusted net of 32 mil versus the expected 33 mil. It's actually not that. I mean, that doesn't seem horrible. Enphase reports a beat Enphase beats, and its guidance is a big beat on guide. Holy smokes, that's a big beat on guide. Guiding a midpoint of 430. We're expecting 409 million. So that's very nice. That's a good beat on Enphase. Enphase revenue for last quarter coming in at 412 versus the 402. Very good. It's funny. I was at breakfast this morning and I think Enphase is going to beat, but you never know. I don't like speculating on it. Apps beats. EPS comes in at 49 cents versus 43 expected. 375.5 million in rev versus the 353. That's pretty decent as well. So we got a beat on apps here, which should be the opposite of the movement that we just saw in the market where it was starting to go down like 6%. We've got a beat on a nice lift on forecast by Enphase, killing it. So let's see how these things are actually moving. Apps is, it's only about 1.4%, which is worst case scenario if you're doing straddles. Enphase about 7%. Okay, 7% to the upside. That's good. It's all right. I was hoping for more on Enphase. It's rising right now a little bit. So who knows if it'll hold on onto that anyway, but it's about 9% right now, bobbing around 154 here. It's crazy because Enphase was at like 114 not that long ago. Oh, there we go. Nice little boost there on Enphase. So we'll see what happens. Enphase up about 9% here. So let's see what other earnings are. So we talked about Lyft. I want to see if Lyft raised. I mean, I'm pretty sure Lyft raised prices. I mean, I've seen the prices just go ridiculous on some of these. Fiscal year guide for apps 1.63. That's good. Digital Turbine. Yep. Okay. Then we've got what else? Still waiting for Corsair and Chipotle. Those are going to be big ones. Enphase sees margin in line with expectations. Good. I don't see no Corsair yet. Okay. Enphase only about a 7% move. Not as much as really hoping for here. Less volatility today. Okay. And I'm gonna see what Apps is doing. Apps is doing like nothing. It's like 1.4%. Like, bleh, nothing. Okay, still waiting on Chipotle. And XPO Logistics. So Chipotle is listed for 410. So that's in about a minute. And Corsair is expected. It just says after, so we actually don't know when that one's going to come out. Chipotle is the next big one in about 1 minute. Somebody's saying, well, how is 7% not a good news? Well, because if you do a straddle on it, you want to get a big move. You want to get over 10% to the up or to the downside. 7% is fine if you own it, or you just have calls on it or bullish options. But if you're doing a straddle, 7% is probably equal to 0. So it depends on what kind of move you're making. We were talking straddles and examples in the course member live. So that's why I'm bringing it up. Still waiting for XPO, and Chipotle should be at about 30 seconds. And Corsair does not have a time. Piton was this morning. Things could be muted in pre-CPI mode. I completely agree. I couldn't agree more. I think you're kind of just like, the market's going to be kind of boring probably tomorrow as well. I mean, it might even, I honestly think it just stay flat until CPI. Come on, Chipotle. You're up. Here we go. Let's go for a big beat. Come on. It's an okay beat. EPS comes in at 558 versus 528. It is a beat on EPS. Digital sales up 3.6%. Comp sales up 15.2%, slightly beating the estimate of 14.8. Sales came in at $2 billion. I mean, this is barely a beat. Like these just are nominal beats across the board. Now, how's the stock moving on that? Yeah, apps is doing nothing. And Enphase barely holding on to that 7%. And yeah, Chipotle is literally doing nothing. 1.35%, 2%-ish. That's too funny. Okay, here we go. Chipotle is now rising a little bit. Now it's going up like 4%, something like that. Anyway, so let's see here. Oh, there we go. Now it's at about 4.5% on Chipotle. Let me see what else Chipotle says. Chipotle says comps in mid to high single digits. Chain warns Omicron variant will hit next quarter sales. Ooh. Surprised it's actually not going down on that kind of sort of negative forecast. Where's the forecast, though? I don't think they've provided a forecast yet. Sees accelerating unit growth to be in the 8%, 8 to 10% per year. It's up 6%. Corsair is still not out. Lyft is, I mean, we already covered Lyft, nothing there. XPO comes out for what it's worth at 4:15, which is in about 3 minutes. No guidance equals bad forecast. Pretty much. Pretty much. Chipotle's up about 5% right now. It's getting rejected off of that 6. Lyft is up about, is down about 3. Apps is down about 4. Okay. So finally, a little bit of a larger move to either direction. If you're doing straddles, is what's preferred. Enphase is already losing that 7%. It's down at 6.6 right now. Tough market to really mess with. Let's see here. Sheeb, Solana, these guys down just a little bit. No, BTC was moving earlier. Let's take a quick peek look at BTC. Yeah, a little bit of a fall here. I mean, not much. This is just on the 1 minute candle. But sitting right now at 44 on BTC. I want to see if XBO has anything for us over the next 2 minutes. Just under 44 now on BTC. I saw that, Charles. I thought that was shady. I read that this morning. I'm like, that's shady. Okay. So. Well then. 1 more minute for XPO. And let's look one more time here at some of these. Yeah, see, Enphase is giving up that 7%. This thing's going to end up opening up like 3%. It's going to be like super nominal. It's like anytime you get these runs, they just create these opportunities for people to take profits again. It's like so unforgiving. And then look at that. Apps at 1.44. It's like they don't want to move at all. They don't want to give you anything. Apps, Enphase. What's the other one? There's Lyft. Lyft also only moving about 2%. Like the smallest moves we've seen in weeks on earnings is today. It's too funny. What was the other one? XPO. Chipotle. 5%. Okay. So that one's moving up a little bit. Good day at the casino. Corsair is not yet out. Let me see here. I will check again. Enphase and Chipotle. Margin was 8.1%. Access to $500 million in untapped credit facility. Okay. Oh, Corsair's out. Corsair comes in with 35 cents on EPS. The estimate was 25. You've got net revenue of 510 mil versus 495. That's a beat. And adjusted EBITDA 39.5 mil versus 37.6. Adjusted net year over year down 35% year over year. It's not a lot. Then a big year last year. EPS coming at 25 cents versus 43 cents a year over year. Yeah, what's up with that? Year over year wasn't good, but they did beat. They did beat on EPS and they beat on Rev. So that's Corsair. And we have XPO. Do we want to go to Chipotle? Oh, yeah. XPO just came out. XPO comes out with a net of 122 mil, EPS 1.04. Forecast, let's see. Q4. It was a beat. Q4 EPS comes in at 134 versus 97 expected. 97 cents. So 134 versus 97 cents expected. You've got adjusted EBITDA of a midpoint of about 1.38 billion expected for 2022. And the forecast was 1.36. So that's a slight beat. So the forecast beat a little bit. They beat in the last quarter. And their forecast for next year is actually quite high. $5. That's a midpoint of about 525 versus 472. Oh, very nice. XPO killed it. They should do really well in after hours then. Let me see. XPO. No, up 4%. This is a weird. Yeah, the only downside if you do, I see this here. So no strangles, just straddles. Strangles could work. Because if you did straddles and you sold them, you don't want to be left with the naked calls. Unless you're really a gambler. But yeah, you're always going to have that volatility crush. You're going to have volatility crush and a day of theta decay. And that's why you need to see moves usually in excess of about 10% if you're going to do them. Just to like make up, to make like a little bit of money. Because otherwise you just get crushed on both sides, you know? So you're really making a bet on a big move to either direction. Hey, look. There's high tide up today. Okay, so how did things end? Lyft at about 3.3. Enphase. Oh, Enphase running a little bit. Nice. Oh my gosh, nice. Yeah, look at that. Enphase just got rejected off 160. Wow. Enphase. Nice move on Enphase. Ooh, Corsair's moving too. There you go. Now we're getting some moves. Chipotle. There you go. Now it's moving. That's good. It's just slower moves. That's so weird. It's like the first 5 minutes after earnings were somewhat boring. And now you're actually starting to get some of these moves. Nice. How about Tesla? How's Tesla? No YOLO. All right. Awesome. Well, that could be good. If you get a nice little 10% move here on Enphase and Chipotle, 6.5 if you got a straddle. That's good. Apps. Apps I don't even think is on the watch list. I have to keep typing it in. It's not. 4.68. We'll see if that worsens. Anyway, good. That's really good for especially Enphase is such an amazing company. I freaking love them. But anyway, I also have Enphase on my roof. And I bought more Enphase. I got a big Enphase battery. Chipotle is now up 7%. Oh, good. Move. I like this. Now, the only thing that could make this better or worse now is those earnings calls. We're going to have to check those out in about 40 minutes. Those earnings usually start. Wall Street decided to actually read earnings reports after Amazon. I know, no kidding, right? Yeah, that Amazon, what was it? Yeah, it's like they're taking 5 minutes to digest after reacting instantly like they did with Amazon, because Amazon comes in and takes a big profit on Rivian. It's just like, but wait a minute, it's down 40%. Like you're not still going to have that profit. So you have to back that out. That takes a minute. That's a good way to throw off your computers though. Ay. That's cool. All right, where's Enphase? Enphase. Nice. Look at it run. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. 164. Nice. Good. Good. And leave it to end phase to prop up the trade. That is awesome. Oh, hopefully it stays into the morning. This is awesome. Yes. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Tomorrow, what kind of day are we going to get tomorrow leading into CPI Thursday? And that is going to be part one of our setup because we'll have another CPI report in March before we get the Fed meeting March 16th. That's going to be freakish. Anyway. All right, folks. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate y'all. Check out FTX via the link down below. Check out those crypto trading options, and we'll see you in the future.